from the UK. Mind you, the Fijians have needed the joy that World Cup successes brought. Last December there was a military coup which brought condemnation from around the world, and that was the fourth in 20 years. Tourism figures are down 40% this year as a result, and 1 in 3 live below the poverty line. It would cost the average Fijian a month's wages to buy one ticket for today's game. So the question will, can Fiji add to the feel-good factor today of their fellow countrymen?
Good afternoon, Bob. Good afternoon, everyone back at home. I hope you have a giant hangover like everyone does in Marseille. And welcome back to the Vélodrome for a bit of hair of the dog, where hopefully the Fijians can continue the craziness of this amazing weekend.
We get ready then for the national anthems. Jim mentioned the size of the countries as well. An island against a continent. Seru Rambeni commented you could drop the Fijian archipelago of more than 300 islands into the middle of South Africa and never find them again. The subcontinent being around 70 times bigger. So we have to say that the Fijians really do punch above their weight. They've leapt to number 9 in the world after that victory over Wales, leapfrogging in fact over the Welsh. South Africa at present number 3.
Ladies and gentlemen, would you please be outstanding the national anthems of South Africa and Fiji.
Time then for the 2 national anthems. Two anthems for the price of one then from South Africa. Now Menda Ndau Ndunga, God bless Fiji. Great emotion then for Nicky Little as well, I'm sure. How much will they miss him? That's the major question. Well, South Africa have lost their second tight-head prop in a week, with CJ van der Linde declared unfit. So Yanni du Plessis, who only arrived here in midweek after completing a night shift in the hospital at Bloemfontein, where he's a doctor, gets right into the action. They're also able to recall Danie Rossouw and number eight, that's a big plus for them. Time then for the Thimby. Cesar Alwini's team, then the South Africans looking on with great respect. And Fiji then moving, as we've heard, Seremai and Bai up from inside centre to outside half to cover for the loss of Little Nickel. Norman Lingeri and Sereli Mbombo are brought into the back division, and the powerful scrimmager Henry Ngondravu into the front row.
Don't be fooled, the smiling assassins of Fiji. While they batter you, they do smile, but the South Africans do not even so much as grin. They are a powerful, well-oiled machine, disciplined and structured. Expect power and discipline from them all afternoon. Do not expect any mercy from the South Africans. They cannot believe their Tri-Nation counterparts have headed home, and they do not want to suffer the same mistake or accident.
And as we've heard, their supporters will tell you that all the other teams might as well go home now, because South Africa's name is on the Webb Ellis Trophy. The expectation is great. Alan Lewis from Ireland then gets us underway. Butch James with the first kick of the game. And as ever in matches like this, the first few minutes are going to be decisive. If Fiji can get hands on ball and start running it, then who knows what might happen.
He's okay, he's onside.
Looking for the control in the first place. Just taking the ball on a little into the South African forwards.
Stay back.
And Bai has had to move into play. Scrum half for a moment, goes back then to his proper position. Now as Rawaluni takes the responsibility himself, but that's a poor one, giving the South Africans an early chance. The ball in fact has gone forward anyway. Big scrum though for Fiji to face here, Will.
Indeed, the power of South African front five with the du Plessis come back. He'd actually just delivered a C-section, I believe, and said it was a miracle that he was called up. I would expect that the lady who delivered the baby thought it was a miracle that she had a baby, not him playing front row for South Africa.
Fiji looking to turn and put some pressure on South Africa, but the ball's been picked up by the Springboks immediately. Now then, this is the start they wanted, just the start, in fact, Fiji did not want to face. Smith powering on, wearing 7. And Rossouw looking to control the ball.
In
at the side, says Alan Lewis.
Back you go, 10.
It's certainly been a good World Cup for Irish referees, if not for Ireland. Alan Lewis must be in with a chance. I would have thought of the final as well.
He's got to have a reason. Don't run straight into him. Look for a gap. He's got to have a reasonable chance to defend. We're on 10. Go back. Penalty kick.
Dupree showing his quick thinking there. He saw the opportunity, as a lot of good scrum halves do, as Matt Dawson always used to. Get a penalty close to the line, get a tap, run straight into your opponent. Not only, you don't need the extra 10, but often sin bin. And the referee Lewis just pointing out that he went looking for it, as he did so well against England. Of course, he ran into Matt Stevens and won the 3 points. And then from that kick that François was talking about, he almost set up Fourie with a brilliant piece of quick thinking.
Percy Montgomery, the competition's top scorer, with 67 points from the pool stages. Well, that's a bad miss. Very unusual.
We saw Johnny miss one from there yesterday. They're worried about this Mistral. You can see the flags on the top of the stand. They are blowing. But if you throw a piece of grass up in one part of the ground, it goes in a completely different direction to when you throw it up in somewhere else. So it's trying to master that wind. And both Mortlock and Wilkinson yesterday struggled. Fortunately for us, Mortlock just pushing it wide with virtually the last kick of the game. It would have been daylight robbery, mind.
Mbai started his career years ago with Cross Keys and Caerphilly down in the Welsh League. And Norman Lingeri plays his rugby in France. Gives a chance then immediately. Oh, that man Steyn. Powerful run-up and a beautiful interception. And here's the chance then, immediately for Fiji. Mbombo out on the left. Can't get the ball to him immediately. Koya Martin Bole prevented the number 8 from doing so. He got in Dravel, in number 3. Contains the possession though. Now this will give Fiji confidence. Ball in hand. Plenty of good movement as ever as well. By that time wins the penalty also.
Yeah, they were worried with Nicky Little there, the shot, the midfield general. He's pulled the string so well for Fiji down the years. Such a shame what an ambassador player he's been, but Mumbai stepped into the fray at 10. He's a wonderful player, going from side to side, looking for gaps, physical, going to the gain line, taking the South Africans on, winning the penalty. Again, they've recovered. Rauluni caught the first restart, got stuck at the bottom. They couldn't get it away. South Africa had the pressure. Montgomery misses his kick, and it just lets Fiji get themselves into the game, get some territory.
But here they face possibly the best defensive line-out in the world, with Victor Matfield in particular wearing 5. But that's a good ball off the top for Fiji immediately. Ball just lost in the contact area though from Rambeni. Peterson presents the ball beautifully. Oh, that's rather a high tackle going in on Habana.
Advantage over.
Referee had been playing an advantage. That is over now then.
Never went for touch there, Butch. James just sent it long, and then a big green line sets the wall up, knowing that Fiji would have to kick or run it back, gifting them possession.
James feeds it this time to Montgomery.
That's what you can't afford to do with Percy Montgomery. If you let him do his hair all day and kick his goals and kick it from deep, he's a world-class player. You've got to get him into the game. You've got to get him in amongst the rough stuff. And there's Habana. Bordering on high, wasn't it, really? And then a friendly cuddle, a Fijian cuddle on Independence Day.
So the line-out forms just outside the 22. Koto. Naevo 6 will aid Rwanga 5 and Leoera 4. Moves up and down the line, does the number 6 Naevo. Does his job very well again there. But in effect, what's happened is that they've been taking just a few metres upfield, and now South Africa have a throw in at this line-out. Now defensively, they're very good. Offensively as well, with Victor Matfield and Bakkies Botha in particular.
And Rossouw, of course, in there. Great to see him playing back after being stretched off.
Yep.
Looked a horrible, horrible tackle against the Tongans, but great to see him back on the field.
Not a well-directed ball that time, and so Mbai can control it. Rambeni. Delisau coming in from the wing. That's good disciplined play by the Fijians. Little chip over the top. Peterson takes it easily though, feeds to Montgomery. Danie the little kick. And South Africa, have they managed to maintain possession? They would have, but stolen illegally by the Fijians.
We saw yesterday with England how physical they were at the ruck, at the breakdown, how they counter-rucked. But you do play on the line. There were occasions, talking to the Australians tonight, they felt they'd occasionally crossed it. This is what you do in the back row. Look how physical they are, straight in, over the ball. They look as though they're on their feet. But if the referee is the final decider, if he says it's a ruck, and hands must come off. And now steps forward François Steyn. We were watching him in the warm-up, weren't we, Bob?
Yep.
This is, he was kicking them from 10 metres further, 60 metres he was, banging them over. He just looks as though he's come around for a kick around. So much talent. Backs himself every time he gets the ball.
Young 20-year-old who's burst on the scene, taking advantage of the injury to Jean de Villiers. And he really does give the ball a huge whack. Clearing the posts quite comfortably. François Steyn. South Africa get the 3 points from the penalty.
Banged them all over in the warm-ups, didn't he? Drop goals from 55 metres, kicks from 60 metres. The exuberance of youth has absolutely no fear. He can be a weakness as well as a strength. Occasionally plays too much, but he's stepped into Jean de Villiers' shoes brilliantly well, solved the problem for them, and solving it and filling them very well indeed.
Restart from Mbai. Rather too long that time though, giving Victor Matfield and co plenty of time to control the ball. Now looking for one of these energy-sapping moves. Being organised by Matfield. Berger peels off, now to Preez. Kicks charge down from Steyn that time. Here's the chance then. Fidji, Mbai. They were celebrating the try from Koto even before the ball was in the hands of his supporting players. But the pressure, again from Mbai. South Africa, though, have the ball. Under tremendous pressure. Percy Montgomery gets it away.
Came from nothing, really, didn't it? Big charge down. Steyn took too long, went for one of his boomers. A big charge down. Oh, right on the bonds. No fear. Back on his feet. Ball worked free to Koto. Yellow boots as a hooker. Off he goes. And oh, he just fumbles it with Rambeni outside him. And then is this... Oh, he was committed. He was committed. His knees...
Yeah, Mbombo's challenge has attracted the attention of the officials. I'm not quite sure that Steve Walsh on the far side actually knew who it was.
Come in late on the kicker. It's going to be a penalty in 15 on the 22. Come on, let's work
So
on things.
no personal retribution, but it'll be a penalty to South Africa.
Yeah, let Percy know he's in a game. I think that was a bit harsh. He was committed to the challenge, going for the charge down. They just got one. They felt there was a sniff of another. And now Percy gets a chance with a lot more time.
So, bright start then for Fiji. Let's see what Nicky Little thinks down on the touchline talking to Ned.
Well, Nicky, you've noticed one or two things about the Fiji game, including Mr. Rapeni dropping the ball. What happens then when he's dropped the ball?
Well, I think at training, if he drops the first ball, he won't drop it again, he'll have a stormer.
You've confident prediction. How do you think the boys have started so far?
Well, also, Sunio Koto dropped the ball, so he's going to have a stormer too.
They carry a threat, don't they, Nicky?
Let's hope we don't drop the ball, all of us.
Thanks, Nicky.
South Africa from the line out, controlling the ball once again. Beautifully done. Yanni Duplessis, number 3, you see there in the middle. Big long pass in the middle of the field. Montgomery evades the challenge. Where's the support? Here it comes from Habana. Such a strong man, only 14.5 stone, but so powerful. James. Once again, the tackling in the first place was pretty good. Referee Alan Lewis still playing an advantage to South Africa. Fijian try line in the background as Berger now takes it on. Hans Durant just leaning on there, trying to create a platform. Here comes the ball, in fact. That's a penalty. They'll have to bring them back this time for the penalty.
South Africans setting up that maul. They do not want the big Fijian back row and Gera and Naiva running around in the midfield. They want to tie them down, tire their legs out. Don't let them roam in open space. Then Butch James released the backs. So long, he's now a conductor of the team. But for so long, Butch James has simply been a drummer making a lot of noise. But South African turning down the opportunity of points, feel the maul is going so well. They'll look to score the try from the driving line out.
Skipper John Smit into the line-outs. Bakkies Botha looks to feed it on, does so. It's Smith. Turns beautifully. Juan Smith. South Africa so close to the line then. Berger leaves it to Rossouw. Smith again. Huge questions now being asked of the Fijian defence. Berger tackled again just short though. Now then, some room on the far side, surely. Smith straightens up. Just about held up once again. Rossouw to the far side. Jaque Fourie. First try of the game for South Africa. The centre strikes again. 4th try in 4 starts in this competition.
The centre three-quarter Fourie finish it off, but it's all down to the forwards, all down to the well-structured line-out. Fiji defended it well. Botha got it off the top and got it in Smith's hands. They worked it one way, then the next, and Fourie, a tremendous poacher, an outside centre who scores a lot of tries, even with a team that contains Habana and Peterson. He finds himself in the right place at the right time. He has power, he's a no-nonsense try scorer. He'll look to counter Rambeni in the midfield, and he'll look for his opportunities, and he takes them well. A very self-confident young man.
5 tries in his last 6 games. As Percy Montgomery regains the kicking duties. Record point scorer for South Africa. Oh, so unlucky that time. But South Africa very much in the driving seat. François Pena, he must be delighted with this start.
It's a very good start. I thought Fiji controlled the first 4 minutes, but then the South African forwards came into play.
There's Dupree, pinpoint pass.
And that was just a wonderful, wonderful pass by one Fourie to the other Fourie. He's had a superb start of the game, and South African forwards, they need to take control. And I would not like to see the South African backs for the first 20 minutes. Just play them in the forwards and keep it tight.
Plan A working to good effect then for South Africa at the moment. And really, Fiji must get something on the board, I think, pretty quickly to get back into this game. They'll be pegged back more and more by the kicking, I'm sure, of James. That ball stays alive just. And James brings in Montgomery this time for the greater angle. And that's a better kick, taking play right up to halfway.
So solid, Percy Montgomery. But they talk about Hernandez. I know he's playing fly half for the Argentine. Latham as a world-class fullback, but he just does the basics so well. He kicks his goals, and for those reasons, for all the flash of the many other players, he often gets a World 15 vote. He often gets in there simply because he does his basics so well, and is such a metronomic goal kicker.
Botha into the line out once more for Fiji. Good take off the top once again. Guerra in the first instance, 7, such a good support player, but there's a danger, is there, of a turnover? No, here it is. Rawaluni straightening up nicely. But in fact, the referee will bring them back for accidental offside, running into his own man.
That's what the South Africans do defensively. They cramp you, they suffocate the space. They don't allow, they will not get drawn into a game of 7s, as the Welsh did last week against the Fijians. They will close you down, they will keep their line, they will hold their shape, and they will give you nowhere to go. And when you don't have a big kicking game like the Fijians, you begin to go off-piste.
Graham Dews, loose head on this side for Fiji, scored the final try against Wales.
Stay steady.
Actually, man from New Zealand, a carpenter in Auckland, who paid his way to the trials in Fiji.
Interesting setup here. Look at Jaque Fourie. He's the outside centre, but he's straight in. He wants to secure the ball, knowing Rossouw was picking up. And then the big Osteran gets in the way. Not looked well planned, and then the big prop lumbers round into the way.
So a little untidy. Berger corrects that situation immediately. Now Smit in the back row. Leawere with a good challenge, number 4.
That's what they meant to do 2 phases ago. They recovered well, but Lingeri's done extremely well at the fullback. Under pressure from Peterson, in the air, called the mark. Knows if he gets tackled in the air, he wins the penalty, and you're allowed nowadays, not like the old days where you had to have feet on the ground to call the mark. You can call the mark in the air, which means if you catch the ball in your own 22, you're allowed a free effort at a clearance kick.
Ilia Tambua, who actually played on the flank against François in the only previous game between these two countries. He also, in fact, played for Australia twice, his first 2 caps against South Africa and against François, and won both those games. Wow. The ball a little flat, to say the least.
Roll away.
Referee's happy with it. Opportunities then on the far side for South Africa. Smith, huge dummy. What a cheeky one. Holds the ball up and then stolen. Beautifully stolen by Fiji.
Sells a brilliant dummy, does all the hard work, sees his support runner, and then at the last moment realises it's not there to give, and the Fijians rob it.
see the body positions of the Fijians rather different to those of South Africa.
They just can't get any territory at the moment, can they, Fiji? Inviting the South Africans onto them.
Montgomery's high ball follows it through himself. Mark again is called though. Brian Delasau scored one of the tries. And from Clément Auvert now, here in France.
Indeed. Almost grabbed the Fijian team by the scruff of the neck last week against the Welsh when it looked as though the Welsh comeback would turn a 25-3 deficit around. But Delasau just led the counter-attack. His surges eventually set up Juice's try.
It's a penalty, in fact, for an offside against South Africa. So Norman Lengeri, and from Preez, good clearance kick. Taking his side upfield.
When Montgomery put the kick up in the air, all the South Africans in front of him are offside. You must retreat behind the kicker or make an effort to run away from where the ball's going to land. You can't stand still, as the South Africans did that close to the ball. Penalised and a penalty. Lingeri also short stint at Harlequins with us.
So in the line-out coming up again, Fiji again have moved up Naebo, the 6, competing with the ball there well. Raiwaluni going through the gap, does well. Now the pick-up by Leawere. This is better from Fiji. Their confidence needs a boost here. Interception! Peterson quickly to read that position.
Release!
Ball is finally released.
Good turnover there, wasn't it? Rambeni's such a powerhouse against Wales. His long distribution not perhaps as good as his short, close quarter work. Often does well to suck defenders in and then offload. That's not what he's known for. Peterson reads it well, but then turned over. Rauluni, the line-out's going well actually for the Fijians so far, doing well. Rauluni through the middle, almost as he did against Australia.
Time off.
Wonderfully gregarious scrum half and captain, always smiling, always enjoying himself.
Well, don't forget, there's more of this fascinating World Cup coming your way later today. The last of the quarterfinals coming up, Scotland taking on Argentina at Murrayfield. Coverage begins at 7:45 here on ITV1. Get across. That match, of course, being played in Paris. Don't forget as well to get across our website, itv.com/rugby, for all the latest news and highlights from each and every game.
Wait, please.
Right, how can the Fijian scrum hold on under the pressure of the South African front five?
Pause, engage.
Can they get a platform?
Ball has to be picked up by Koyamawe, and Mbole does well too, the number 8. The scrum retreating, so gives an opportunity for Rauluni again to Mbai. And probing in centre field, doing very well. Nkera couldn't though keep control of the ball. Now here's a chance once more. Steyn. That's his naivety really, maybe, in that position.
He went for an offload as Dominic Try did last night. Tried to get through beyond the tackle, get beyond it. That's where Rambeni does his good work. Always beats the first man.
Chance for Rauluni to probe again. Beautiful dummy out onto the far side. Rawanga, the second row forward of all people. It's here once more then for Rauluni. Mbai bypasses players in centre field and then asks for the straightening up from Koyamawe Mbole. Does that. Rambeni, huge pass again across field. They had some numbers on the far side, but Nkera came back towards the middle and compounds the felony by giving away the penalty.
They worked it well, didn't they, Rauluni? Dodging and weaving up the short side. Found his big man Rawanga on the second row on the wing. I think he'd like Delasau to have been there. They moved it back 2 or 3 times. Nkera, who's been so good for Fiji this World Cup. So powerful, so strong. Good tackle from Steyn. Not sure exactly what he's been penalised for there. It looks as though Steyn's not making any effort to roll away. And perhaps a little unfortunate. Here's Kayomboy Mbole. My goodness, that's Matfield trying to get hold of him, and then that's Smith. He is a big man. Did well at the base of the scrum. The scrum looked under pressure, so they look as though they're going to go channel one ball, which means get it straight to the number 8's feet and move it away.
Smith preparing to throw in again, leading his country for the 46th time. Beautiful catch by Smith. at the back of the line out, and there again, the body positions here are lower. They're better, more threatening, but the ball's gone to ground. So Preez gets it away. Now then, testing kick once again. Lingeri's underneath it. Habana through on him, just gets a touch, does he?
Not held, he's fine.
Ravaloui, not held, as you might have heard Alan Lewis say, so that's okay. Allowed to continue. His brother Jacob played in the match, the other match between these two countries back in '96 and scored a try that day. South Africa won the game quite comfortably. Rwanga, taking a blow.
Yeah, from Smith, who went high. I don't think he expected a sidestep from Rwanga. He put the step in, it took him off guard, the arm came swinging up.
Referee accepts. There was no malice of forethought there. So it's just a quiet little warning.
Just an instinctive lunge. Yeah, high. It'd be harsh to get a yellow card straight away from that. As you say, no malice involved. But Ravaloui, darting, isn't he? Look at him. Can't see any space there. Tackle by one, tackle by two, but no one holds him, which means he's allowed to get back up and play on.
We're halfway through the first half. So, François Pierre, how do you think it's going as far as your side's concerned?
Yeah, it's been quite a strange first half. Fiji has had a couple of chances and they haven't grabbed their chances. South Africa, I would have liked to have seen them speed the game up, but they're slowing the game down. It must be very, very hot out there on the field. Their lineup is starting to work nicely now and the driving is working okay. But if you give the Fijians room to move, they like to have a run, they like to have a go. And Rossouw and Mbeni have been impressive. So it's still anybody's game.
Thanks, François. Lingeri with the penalty kick, which has taken Fiji once more up towards halfway.
Yeah, South Africa, when they get into the Fijian half, they seem to camp there, whereas Fiji do breakouts, guerrilla warfare, and need to nick points every time they get there. They won't get many chances. This South African powerhouse will not allow the Fijian team too often into their territory.
Didn't look very straight. It certainly wasn't going into Rwanga. So it'll be a scrum down for
Scrum.
And
South
unfortunately,
Africa.
those are the basics you've got to get right. You can see he almost throws it to his scrum half. When you're under pressure, the basics have to hold up.
Crouch. Touch. Pause. Engage.
Pick up on the blind side again. Rossouw, it was the number 8. Untidy.
Forward, scrum Fiji.
So in turn, it's the Fijians who get the ball. And at the moment, not a great evidence that South Africa are going to kill Fiji off, is there, Will?
No, second untidy scrum. Steyn this time was up flat and expecting the ball. Rossouw went and went. The Fijians backed off and Rossouw gave it to Steyn when he wasn't expecting it. Another error. The sort of errors that the Fijians will feed off.
Again, the number 8, Koyamayu Mbole, is forced to pick up at number 8 from the retreating scum. Does pretty well, Koto. Good running by the hooker.
He makes up for his throwing in. How many ball carries has he done already?
Yeah. So again, they've got the opportunity to come wide. They've dragged the men in also. Now they need to make it available. Rossouw did that successfully. Not much room on that side, that's careless. And Rossouw has moved over to the left wing to be nearer the action. Koto wearing 2, this the hooker, again picking up and going. And you see backs as well as forwards in the movement there. Now the chance then to spread it wide. Once again, Rambeni coming in at that angle, powerful runner.
Always takes 3 to knock him down. Always takes 3.
And Rossouw doesn't get very far. Showing plenty of options though, Fiji, switching their players all around the field. Ravaloui, little kick over the top, Peterson.
It's a very clever kick into the space. They probed, they kept hold of the ball for long periods of time. It's what they need to get the hands on their ball, to maintain possession. Clever kick. What does Peterson here? Does he? Oh, yeah, it's a little touch.
So here's a big line out then for Fiji. They can get some possession here, and if Koto's throw can be accurate this time. Good take. It's again Naevo, the number 6, who's moved up to the number 2 position. South Africa guilty of collapsing it, bringing down the man. Bakkies Botha, I think, was the guilty party.
Pulling him down in the air, illegal, dangerous. Gives the Fijians an opportunity to get on the scoreboard. Well worth it for the pressure they've had. Naevo climbs high, look at this, and then Botha, yeah, taking him in there. He might claim that it's a one-man tackle, but I think the fact that he's pulling him down whilst he's still in the air definitely made the referee's decision for him.
So the first attempt at goal for Seremai Mbai. Scored more than 100 points for his country already. Playing his 30th cap today, winning his 30th cap. And a brand new father too. His wife had their 3rd child during this competition, so it needed a high-speed dash back to Clermont, where they live and where he plays now for the birth. Mbai. It's there. That's a penalty. Fiji then, 3 points on the board. Let's hear what Nicky Little has to say about it.
Well, there you go, Nicky. 3 points up and running. How does that feel?
I haven't seen that much before. Another guy, you know, kicking in the white shirt.
He's doing your job, that's what you're saying.
Looks good, it looks good.
What about the team? You've been trying to get a message across to them, haven't you?
I think we need to move our ball away from their forwards, maybe more structured than ours. So we need to play Fiji styles.
Thanks, Nicky.
Just come out here a bit.
That's very interesting, isn't it?
Yeah, Fiji style. I'd like to know exactly what it is, that, Nicky. It's a sort of smiling, joyful occasion out on the field, having a run round, passing the ball, keeping it in hand, taking people on. No real set patterns, just a belief that if they look after it, they can beat players one-on-one with their dazzling feet. They've got power to go through the middle, and they'll be delighted that 25 minutes on the clock, the score is 8-3 against the South Africans.
We've been hearing this week. Sorry, Will. Yes.
They've struggled occasionally against the driving maul, but when they've got hold of the ball and found some territory, they've looked after it pretty well. There's such big lads in the backs that they don't get physically dominated. And here's the knock-on from Peterson from the restart that gives South Africa the scrummage.
We've been hearing this week about their devoutly religious Fijians and their daily prayer and hymn sessions, and not surprisingly, the lessons this week have been about David and Goliath. Little lesson from history there for them, they hope.
Were the English and French in the same prayer meeting?
I think they must well have been.
One of those stunning days in sport yesterday, wasn't it? I was on the touchline here,
Might have the floodlights
just
on.
marvelling at England's performance after we were so poor against South Africa, and then just turned it round in an unbelievable forward-dominated effort, and everyone climbed in, everyone climbed on board. I'll have a piece of this. Where's a bloke in yellow?
Touch. Pause. Engage. That's good.
Game resumes it with the scrum to Fiji, and again they're having problems from the more powerful Springbok unit, but they've managed to maintain the possession again. And Seru Rambeni, wearing 12, the centre, is in there too. And the picker, Mai Mbole, the number 8, has been involved in many things for Fiji in this first half. Bombo, the number 11, getting heavily involved as well.
Yeah, both Mbombo, De La Saura and Beniar, they could easily play in the back row, comfortable in the dark areas, in the scrums, in the rucks, in the mauls. And again, Kambole at the back of the scrum there, he's flanked by both Mbombo and Rambeni. They know he's got to get this out quickly, and one of them's got to look after it.
Mbombo immediately then linking with Rambeni. Plays his rugby, of course, for Leicester. And I think that there might be this final warning here for killing the ball.
When I call ruck, I mean go. Understand?
John Smith, the Springbok captain, told to tell his players to keep their hands away from the ball in that position.
Yeah, blatant from Rossouw there at the base of the... When the referee calls ruck, rightly so, even if you think it's okay, it doesn't matter. As soon as the referee shouts ruck, hands off, you are in the wrong if you try and play the ball. You can argue until the sky turns red, but it ain't gonna change.
Botha once more into the line out, into the middle this time. Good ball once more over the top for Fiji. Their line out has been operating pretty well, but in the contact area like that, they've lost it. Matfield linking with Rossouw. He kicked through from the number 8. So good to see him back in action, the big man, and quick too, after it was feared that he might well have had a serious neck or back injury in that tackle against Tonga.
Scrappy performance so far. Martin Johnson alluded to it before the game. Now, come knockout stages, even the best teams just tighten up.
Smith to Preez immediately into the action. Excellent chance here then for South Africa. Little kick through for Peterson, too strong.
Lingiri very relaxed there, wasn't he? JP Peterson wasn't too far away from getting there first.
Top scorer, of course, in the Super 14s, and a super turn of speed. Very languid sort of style he has.
And that was the sort of structure and pattern that the South Africans were working on in the warm-up. Big line out, work it midfield, big runners setting up, sweep round, everyone the same way.
So, Ubai ready with the dropout. That's a poor one. It's taken again by Matfield comfortably, setting up the position. South Africa, 2 men on the wide outside, up to kick, it's been knocked forward. Now then, is there a chance here? Possession is here again then. For Mbaye to spin it wide, Lingeri at fullback. Delasau, of course, had moved in field earlier, so he wasn't available on the far side.
No one wants to keep hold of the ball at the moment. Steyn kicks it away in a poor manner. Delasau sweeps up, they sweep round. Here's the kick from Steyn, working for the outside of the boot. And Delasau sweeps up. Big step on Durant, but look at that, Durant. He's been around forever and still putting the big tackles in. And Lingiri tries to get the offload through and knock on. It's knock on after knock on at the moment.
Alan Lewis has just had a quiet word with Ngera. The flanker wearing 7 for Fiji, but keeping a good tight grip on this game at the moment. Alan Lewis. Rossouw has the ball, a chance to attack. I say he's pretty quick, big man at the number 8 position. Gap in centre field, it's Bakkies Botha! Didn't get the ball away though, quickly enough. Montgomery, inside to Habana. Trying to wriggle away clear. Now they'll go left, but Habana's down here. So it's Smith again who takes it on. Great opportunity this then. Preez. And South Africa have men plenty on the far side. If only they can get it out wide. Wow, chance missed.
What a tackle by Ongera. It's a combination double tackle. South Africa going through the phases. Bakkies Botha, the enforcer through the middle. The pass from Peterson. Here comes Berger, he sees the sniff. Boom, Delasau and Ongera. South Africa's version of Lewis Moody, the all-action chaotic Schalk Burger.
And a little reprisal too at the end of the move too. Not spotted, I don't think, by either the referee or Steve Walsh on that far side. So for the second time in this tournament, only Rossouw, the recipient of a very dangerous tackle, a bad tackle indeed.
Here's Botha straight through the middle, bashes off Rambeni, comes up to Lingiri, the fullback braces himself, does okay, he's helped out by Naivo. And here's the big tackle again. Oof, one goes high, one goes low.
There's Rossouw going through, and it was Mbaye, of all people, The number 10, the outside halfer, was guilty of that challenge.
Came flying in over the top, didn't he? Rossouw ducking low to try and pick up the ball. And Rauluni imploring his backs there. You can see him showing, drop the tackles, bring them lower.
Big scrum this then for Fiji. If South Africa can keep up the power. So again, it's that man, Toyamai Mbole, who takes the responsibility to pick up that ball. Was Durant one, trying to go in to scramble the ball for South Africa, but it's Rauluni. Good clearance too by the skipper.
The big number 8's doing very well, isn't he? They are under pressure in the scrummage, and Toyamai Mbole is picking up, making hard yards against big men and giving Rauluni an umpire platform from which to clear. But the South Africans will fancy this.
Great attacking position. Well inside the 22 for John Smit to put into the line out for Bakkies Botha. But look at this good defensive play there by Fiji.
A big counter surge, but South Africans did very well. They maintained their shape. They knew the shove would come.
Referee Alan Lewis is playing an advantage to the Springboks as Preez throws it into centre field. Steyn back again towards strength. Not enough advantage, says the referee, awards the penalty.
Yeah, the counter surge came well from Fiji, banged South Africa back, but they maintained their shape and their structure. And then I think it's Koto, is it? The number 2 comes in, drops them all.
So the referee warns that there might be a penalty try. It's at risk for Fiji if they do something like that again here. Smit into the line-outs. Take by South Africa. Now then, working around Matfield there. Really looking to sap the strength here of the Fijians. They've got a great body position. They're going for the line. They're over. The try is awarded.
The captain at the front. Normally you score these driving mauls at the back. But they'd worked it to the front. They were patient. They knew they had superior mauling technique and power. Fiji have done well to repel them so far, but not this time. Splintered off.
First time in 10 World Cup appearances that John Smit has managed to get himself on the try sheet.
They've isolated the Fijian defenders. They're picking them off one by one. There's the white line, there's the ball.
So the man who next season joins Clermont-Auvergne in France. Here's the new Perpignan fullback, Percy Montgomery. Not able to find his range at all today.
I've not seen him kick one like that before. One's hit the post, the other shaved it, but that was just a good old-fashioned snap hook over mid-wicket.
Good technique here, wasn't it?
Very strong. They isolated the Fijians. They knew that the Fijians would come at them. They withstood it. They shifted the ball. They moved the point of attack. And then isolated individual Fijian defenders. And Jacob's shaking his head there. He knows that at 13-3 and with such little ball against his powerhouse South Africans, it'll be one heck of a comeback. But then again, it's been a weekend of comebacks.
Certainly has. 13-3, that rings a bell from last night.
All Kiwis listening won't be enjoying that.
Berger looking to offload. All untidy. Now then, chance for Atuvo. Puts the little kick through. Excellent position right down in the corner there. Steyn guides the ball out because after all it'll be a throw-in.
Oh, what's he doing? He cut.
Take it here, please.
Total rush of blood.
When you're that young, crikey. Yeah, they had the line out. He took it from 2 yards from his own line, which he wasn't allowed to do in the first place. He then threw it 5 yards not straight into his own dead ball area. He was saved by the referee, saying the line out had already formed.
Fijians warned about the numbers at the line out here. They've now got the 3 and then over the top it goes again. Towards Berger, so Preez has a look one way then the other. Gets it back to James. Long clearance kick upfield. So South Africa doing enough.
Doing enough is exactly the right way to put it. They haven't really got out of second or third gear to a degree. The Fijians are to blame for that. There have been some big hits. They've worked hard in the line-out and the breakdown. Rauluni's imploring his men to keep going. But South Africa, I feel, will be disappointed with their performance in the first 40.
Good possession once again from the line-out for Fiji, and Mbombo poised to come in from the left wing. Here he is. Referee Lewis just checking with Steve Walsh at the far side. That ball didn't go forward. Good teamwork. Good quick ball again for Rauluni. Rwanga wide. Mayumbole held up well though.
Very well indeed. That's Dupree, the scrum half, who's been so wonderful this tournament. So quick, so athletic, so clever, and also so brave. That's Mayumbole, who's going on the outside. Twice his size, goes low, good technique.
I thought it was just okay.
Bought his inside defender time, didn't isolate Smit too much. Hookers don't like being in open spaces defending, so tucked in on his outside shoulder, looked after him and then did the necessaries.
Once again the referee Alan Lewis pointing out to the Fijians they have one too many men in the line out there. Well, disruption was good, but it did go forward.
Again, the ball thrown into Bakkies Botha, who looked at it under control. Naivo came with the big slam dunk, bats it out of his hand, goes up the short side. Good bit of pressure. Can they put the South Africans under pressure with 20 seconds to go before half-time? You'd expect this to be the last kick of the game. A pick-up, a drive and a kick into touch. Can the Fijians make it any different?
Well, the scrum looked to be pretty comfortable for South Africa. Comfortable enough there for the ball to get back to Butch James. Took an awful long time to do so. And that is the end of the action in the first half. So South Africa are in the lead, 2 tries, 13 points to 3, but plenty to play for in the second half.
South Africa, a massive 33-1 on to win this game against the 12-1 outsiders Fiji. 13-3 to the box at half-time. We're all set for the second half with Will Greenwood and Bob Simmons.
Thanks very much indeed, Jim. Yes, as we await the second half, and well, there is a big mountain, a huge challenge here for the Fijians, and they must get on the scoreboard quickly, mustn't they?
They must score next. You get the feeling that if South Africa score next, the game will go away from them. And yet, patience was the key word coming out of the Fijian dressing room as they came up the tunnel. They feel as if they can keep hold of the ball for long enough. Gaps will appear, but if they go for the killer pass too early, the discipline of the South Africa defence will punish them. The referees asked them to keep their tackles down, and South Africans simply have to get their error count lower.
Alan Lewis ready then for the game to restart, and it's Fiji who get us going once more. That ball is going to stay alive, so here's a chance maybe for the Fijians to counter-attack from deep. And again, it's that Mankoya Mayumbole, the number 8, who's been a huge influence on their play in this first half. Rambeni, such a threat at inside centre today. Played at outside centre against Wales. Delasau. It's that typical sort of little leap up in the air rather than a sidestep.
It's okay.
And Lewis happy. That ball did not go forward, so a good period for Fiji at the beginning of this half with ball in hand. Couldn't in the end though get it away to Mbombo, but here goes Rauluni. Lovely little run of the skipper. Oh, that's a poor pass though. The impetus lost for just a moment. It's Cotto, mobile hooker, does pretty well. Here's the chance again, intelligent little kick. over the top, but meat and drink, in fact, for Percy Montgomery, and that's that.
Good positional play. Fly halves are always looking to get the ball bouncing. The oval ball will go anywhere, so full-backs and wingers have to cover the backfield very well. Percy, right place, right time. De La Salle involved there, though, and he was the catalyst last week against Wales. They'll need something, they need some spark, but a good start to the second half. Good passage where they kept the ball, they moved it from side to side. Rwanga almost finds some space up the short side, couldn't quite get the offload away, but some territory to start the second half.
Second quarter final, the first one in 87 at the time of the first of those 4 military coups. Looked as if they wouldn't get out to the country for a while, but they did. Got to the quarterfinals. Rambeni again from centre circle, inside centre, making the original charge. Katuvo, his co-centre, but that's stolen beautifully by South Africa. Again, it's rather scrappy play, but Habana has had very, very few opportunities indeed, and the fact is penalised for not releasing the ball right in front of the post. Now then, here's a chance for Fiji.
Fourie did a great turnover. Dupree shifted it wide to Habana. Fijians backed off him, but as soon as he loses his feet, my goodness, they're in. The big second row is the giants, Lewere and Rwanga. They sniff an opportunity of a turnover. They pile in to the fallen animal.
So just the opportunity that Fiji wanted at the start of the second period, and it's Seremai Mbai again, the number 10 replacing Nicky Little in that position, who has the opportunity to cut the South African lead once more. Showing the scars of battle. Mbai, straightforward shot right in front of the posts, no mistake. Oh yes, that's the start certainly that Fiji wanted at the beginning of this second period.
Oh, and Bryan Habana showing the anguish in his face. He knows he made an error, but Fiji back to within a score. 45 minutes on the clock. Will they still be within a score with 60 minutes on the clock?
The sun, a big test for their forwards there, allowing the South Africans to get up there, but in fact the Fijians have managed to maintain the position. Ravaloni's kicked forward. Rambeni ducked out of it. Here's a chance then. Montgomery, the switch. That ball's forward, intercepted by De La Salle. Habana has the pace to get him out of problems, but that's a loose pass for Peterson, who in the end is very happy just to scramble it away.
Hacks it away nicely. The up and under, well taken by Butch James. I think Rossouw's in a bit of problem, the outside centre for Fiji. He steps in, they shifted it away. Steyn again makes another error. Ball falls to De La Salle, who hacks ahead. I thought he was impeded. Here's Steyn again, just there he is. You can't, when your error count's been high in the first half and the opposition is still in the game, you can't be making those sorts of passes. Martin Johnson or François Pino will be blooming throttling in.
Crooked ball at the line out. Not for the first time.
No, and that's the pressure that Botha and Matfield put on you. It forces you just to go, can I get away with it? No, you can't. They've done so well to force South Africa into the error, and they gift it straight back. As for the South Africans, they really just need to go back to basics. Big, strong, hard runners, look for the space, but keep hold of the ball.
Good charge down there by Fiji, coming through quickly, and it was not forward. It'll be this man's ball. Fourie Dupree again, lucky.
A welcome party waiting for Fourie Dupree. The all-court game of Naivo to the fore again.
Smit into the line-out. Botha just gets a touchdown, but again it's untidy.
Scrum South Africa.
Knocked forward by a Fijian hand once again, though.
Competing well at the front, disrupting South African ball, but given the knock-on, South Africa have the base again. Oh, they're doing well, aren't they? That's Botha's ball all day long. The athletic leap gets the hand in the way, but just knocks it forward.
In the middle.
Possibly another 8-9 move. No, comes open this side. Montgomery, long kick downfield. Bounce is kind though from De La Salle. Comes on to Lingeri.
The poor kick from Montgomery, all due to Rambeni's pressure. Saw what South Africa were doing, came up out the line, went for the charge down, didn't quite get there, but enough pressure for Montgomery to push his kick too straight. Meat and drink for Lingeri, who hoofs the ball back.
So it's still a testing period at the beginning of the second half for both sides.
Not straight, surely.
Allowed to continue, amazingly so. So Smit can join in again, number 2 at the back this time. Helping to orchestrate it, doesn't have ball in hand himself at the moment. Finally goes to ground. James, high testing kick, it's far too long though. And Lingeri takes the responsibility immediately. Poor kick.
Poor kick, terrible kick, 1 out of 10. I'm being generous with 1. All the time, big chase, Fourie, big in the air, strong in the air, gave him no chance. Lingeri dots down and it results in a 22, and the crowd frustrated a bit perhaps with the match so far. Hasn't been quite the fireworks of Saturday. And taking it upon themselves to entertain themselves with a well-orchestrated Mexican wave.
Ball knocked down, beautifully taken. Rawanga, the second row forward again, Rauluni. Opportunities here, beautiful. And by, could he possibly have offloaded a little more quickly? As it is anyway, it's Rauluni. Naevo, beautiful 1-2. Now then, can Fiji get the score that'll really open up this game again? South Africa slowing it just down. Naevo. Now it's Koto. South Africa for once forced to defend desperately. Rambeni, 12, the centre, going in to aid the effort as well for the Fijians. But he's missing now then from the back division. Fiji keeping it tight and driving on. Need now to clear out the South Africans from here. They've done so. And by. Danger of an interception. Now South Africa can come away. It's Steyn. Has to check. Gets the support. Dupree can't get his kick away. Referee's okay with it though. Now it's Peterson.
Don't go over 4.
Fijians powering through, but warned by the referee not to go too far. In the end, it's Montgomery into the wide open spaces. Koimai and Mbole, the number 8 as ever covering. Not much space there though, and dragged off the field of play. In fact, it was Naevo, the 6.
Oh, how close. Here's the end of the move. Fourie reads it well, shuts down De La Salle, but it was started. I mean, here, Steyn sets off. If he doesn't quite see Habana on his left, who was screaming for the ball. Screaming for it. It started with Umba's show and go, ball in 2 hands. François, you're looking the wrong way. Habana's the other side of the field. Naevo covering the ball back and Rossouw doing his job. But a real chance. Rauluni bounced off 3 or 4 tackles again, just couldn't quite find the support player.
Game resumes then in Fijian territory. South Africa, beautiful ball over the top. Berger. Big tackles coming in, but South Africa keeping it away from the would-be tackler. Now it's Smith. The pickup once again is by the substitute Van Heerden, who is on the field. Chances on the far side, surely short. Botha, it's Peterson from Matfield's pass, in fact, who gets the 3rd try. Now then, is that the clincher?
It's the clincher. Also, is there a sin-binning for a late tackle? They were warned at half-time. Rambeni followed through on Vickers Van Heerden. It was a well-worked move from the line out. They used decoy runners. They passed the ball back inside. Habana was almost away. Worked it wide to Matfield, who took his time, one-handed.
Referee Lewis taking advice from Steve Walsh on the far side, as we see Peterson finishing it off coming over to talk to Rambeni, and I'm sure it's going to be a yellow card.
Yeah, Van Heerden did very well. He invited him into the tackle.
Down low, it's a yellow card.
And could that signal the try and the yellow card? The end of the challenge of Fiji, I wonder.
A double body blow to the to the Fijians. There's the ball back inside. It's actually James, yes, high, very high. Van Heerden was the decoy runner, not a lot of arms. Just caught him just below the chin, far too high, and they've been warned. But then well worked. It was a well worked try. They used the big back rowers as decoys. Butch James with the soft hands, Habana with the thrust a la Robinson yesterday inside Simon Shaw. They looked after it.
Yeah, sure.
Montgomery finds his boots, this time to good effect, and big 7 points for South Africa there, François Pienaar.
Yeah, those are big 7 points. Very important, especially first 10 minutes into the second half. Nice running with the forwards here, good control, and it was a good score. South Africa starting to play better rugby now. Just more structure. They have to play 100 miles an hour. They're playing at 50-60%, and then if they do that, they spill the balls. They're not being direct. Rambeni off now. South Africa needs to capitalize on this and put the game beyond doubt.
Testing time then for Fiji and Ilia Tambua, their coach.
Stay, South Africa.
Bullet has to go back again. Haslingeri wisely uses him. That's a very good clearance kick indeed by the fullback.
Two giant clearance kicks, first from the South Africans to push Fiji right back. Lingeri does well, but if you can get the line out in opposition territory when you're receiving a restart, as the South Africans have here, that's a good return.
Change for South Africa.
Again, it's good possession from the line out for South Africa, showing the confidence now then that score has brought, particularly against the 14 men of Fiji. Freshening things up as well in the front row with Steenkamp being brought on, wearing 17. We'll see him shortly, I'm sure. Botha into the line. Fiji successful. Rauluni has a little check again to see what's happening, but his players behind him are ambling up towards the ball. The same urgency not there at the moment from Fiji. They need to really step it up. It's time the kick from Rauluni. Good option. It's tight on that touchline, but Habana, he kept pretty quiet so far in this game. Fourie Dupree not really having an opportunity there. Almost a turnover. Scrum to Fiji. Let's join Ned and Nicky Little on the touchline now then for a Fijian reaction to all that.
Well, Nicky, the boys have been asking the question, is that the end of Fiji's challenge? Can you see the boys turning this around back in their favour?
I hope so. I think South Africa's starting to get their phases going, just a little passing, changing the shift of attack, and using more brains, I think, at the moment. We just need, as Fiji side, we just need to get the ball and concentrate on our game.
It's been a fast and furious start, hasn't it? And before that South African try, they were close. They nearly crossed the line themselves.
Yeah, just top 2 inches, I think we're missing a bit.
Not over yet. Thanks, Nicky.
South Africa again have the possession. Changes are plenty on both sides, with Johannes Muller on for South Africa in place of Bakkies Botha. And we saw also Juan Railomo at prop for Fiji. Sireli Mbombo. He's left Biarritz now and joined the revolution at Racing Metro in Paris, part of the vigorous second division scene in France coming up. Victor Matfield has joined Toulon for a repeat £400,000 a year, alongside George Gregan and a few others as well. Tana Umanga, the manager from New Zealand.
Andrew Mertens at fly half. Dan Luger on the wing. Half decent for a second division side.
So Fiji need a big effort if they're to get back into this game. South Africa looking pretty solid in the middle of the field there. Short of numbers, so they have to come back this way again towards Rwanga.
Umbaya looks the man, if anybody, who can turn it. A couple of breaks, he's still going to the line with his headband on there. But they're just running out of numbers. They've been drained by the South African power game. They're struggling to win their own scrum. And at the moment, they're just going from side to side, struggling to find some space.
Ngera 7 offloads nicely though to Naevo, giving them the opportunity to develop further down that touchline. And De La Salle has the pace. Can he get there in time? Oh yes! What a try! What a try! Vilimoni and De La Salle, third of the competition. What a beauty!
Just like he did against Wales. There didn't seem to be any space anywhere. Wales conceded it. South Africa have done exactly the same. They're just checking the grounding, I think, here, but there's absolutely no doubt the South Africans fell asleep on the short side. Montgomery didn't know whether to come and look. He's just stopped. He didn't know what he's doing. He's having an argument with Fourie about it. And De La Salle, oh, what a lovely bounce. You thought it was going to go dead, but no, De La Salle, brilliant. Can they kick the conversion and get back to within one score? The South Africans just completely lost concentration. Montgomery and Fourie don't know what they were doing. There was nothing on for Fiji. That was absolutely manufactured from nothing.
Nigel Owens from Wales is the TVO, the match official. Taking a long time over his decision. Now he only needs to get contact with the ground there, and that's a try, surely.
It's a Welshman who's trying his very best to have a pop at the Fijians.
Here comes the decision. Try inevitably is given.
Individual brilliance from De La Salle. He wrestled the game back Fiji's way last week when Martin Williams had taken the interception. And again, something from nothing. The kick ahead, the chip over the top. Yes, he got fortunate with the bounce, but he saw the space, he took his chance. But Fourie and Montgomery just having a doze. Yours, they shouted as he runs flying past them.
Deserved his luck, didn't he?
Oh, we're very much so, very much so. They've kept on going, they didn't feel as though there was any space. And that's about as much of a celebration as you'll get from Ili Tambua.
Sermain bisects the post beautifully. South Africa's 7 points have been negated. Game on once more.
And they made a lot of substitutions as well, the South Africans, so can they adapt to the pace of the game? In fact, Botha coming back on must have been a blood bin. Muller had his 4 or 5 minutes. Departs again. And they've still got an extra man, South Africa.
Retake. It's taken cleanly by Fiji.
Oh.
So they have to open it up again, and some Bai getting away, and good support too from Lingeri. Now then, is there another score here from Fiji, which would really set the Kangaroo the Pigeons? It's Rawaluni. He's going all the way. Just losing support. What a tackle. Ball's down. It's a try. Unbelievable.
What's going on in the rugby
tries
world?
in a minute.
Brilliant. From the restart, South Africa fast asleep again. They worked it wide. Umbai wanted it faster. He took him on. He got the offload. Lingeri, you thought he'd turned down the support, but he looked after it. Rawaluni, who's been everywhere, poked and weaved. Thought he had the legs himself. Does he get it down? Yes, Umbobo.
The man brought in as a replacement because of injury gets his way over the line for Fiji. Again, Nigel Owens has to give the okay. The crowd know what his decision should be.
That's the coup de grace, but the build-up was simply brilliant. Fourie, good despairing tackle, but momentum carries him over.
The only question, did the South African get his hand under the ball?
No chance. Try. Come on, stop wasting time. The Fijians are on a roll. They want 3 in 3 minutes.
Are we on the point of another major upset in this most remarkable of World Cups?
Who wants to win a group? Come second. It's the way in the final.
Habana, in turn, like his counterparts in New Zealand and Australia, just can't believe what's going on all the time. They're down to 14 men. Who needs 15?
One of Fiji's best players is missing, and they're stuffing the South Africans with 14 men. A length of the field try. Umbai does the honours. 100%, 4 from 4.
Well, let's get back down to Nicky Little. What do you make of it now, I wonder?
Nicky Little, they can't see you at home, but there are tears in your eyes, aren't there? It's hard to describe quite how the boys have turned this around. I mean, what's been the key?
This is Fiji style. This is what I'm talking about.
This is what you're talking about, Fiji style. Is this going to be Fiji's day, Nicky?
I don't know. It is at the moment.
I'll tell you what, Bob. Nicky is finding it hard to speak. The emotions are running extremely high down here.
I am not at all surprised, Ned. Rwanga coming forward. It's 2020 rugby at the moment. Umbai with the clearance kick.
Never mind what Nicky Little's thinking. What's François Pienaar thinking?
François.
No, he's speechless. He's even more speechless than Nicky Little at the moment. Oh my goodness, he would be so cross if he was out there. Confidence seems to be shot. Their concentration's gone. Look at them imploring each other.
Yep, let's hear from François.
It's extremely difficult to stop a downward spiral. South Africa are not playing. The crowd is supporting Fiji. They're the ones running with the ball. South Africans are just looking at defending comfortably. They thought it's a big game, this, and it needs big players to step up to the plate, like François Steyn.
Great break, supported by Berger. Can South Africa hit back once again? It's Smith. There are men over on the far side, but the interception comes in. It's getting a bit heavy out there too.
All sorts of decisions to make here. Was it a penalty try? Did Mbobo come in and slap it down when the South Africans were free? Then what happened after that? Late hits aplenty. Steyn found the space in the midfield. The touch judges it, Steve Walsh.
Homer.
Referee wants both his touch judges in on this. The two New Zealanders, Steve Walsh and Paul Honnis.
Where? Oh, just tell me what. Okay, come on.
My decision is I've got a foul play against 14 white down here. Here, high tackle.
Okay.
Okay. And my one over here was just a body check by Green 4 on 11 whites as he's going through the loose ball after this one. Obviously, so
6 of one, half a dozen of the other, by the sound of it.
Mine happened first in that case.
Well, I'll tell you what we'll do.
Sort that one out,
At
ref.
20 all, I'm going to scrum it.
Yeah.
I'm going to have a word. Number 4 green. 4 green. 14 white.
Bakkies Botha
No, I don't need you. I don't need you.
on the one side.
No, I don't need you. Actually, yeah, come here. Come here. No, you can.
And Vélodrome
Okay,
de la
hold on a second.
called in as well.
At 20 all, we're not going to go on calls. There was a body check by you over there and a high tackle here. I'm going to go with the original knock-on over here. And we've got to control ourselves. We've got to keep ourselves disciplined at 20 all. Understand? Let's go.
Good
It's a
call
South
for
African
discipline
ball for
from
a
Alan
knock-on
Lewis.
over here.
There's the high tackle from De La Salle.
We're taking the knock-on.
But Fiji lucky with the knock-on. You felt that Mbobo came and he knew what he was doing. It was a certain try for South Africa up that short side. There's Botha following through on Mbobo. He's showing his anger at Mbobo coming in and stopping what seemed to be a try.
20 points all. Scrum to South Africa. Berger, who's now taken over in the number 8 position there. Springboks looking to roll it on again. Van Heerden is involved. That's going to be a penalty. Now then, surely South Africa must take the points on offer here.
Yeah, Dupree got hold of the ball quickly and then really didn't even think about it. 20 all. Martin Johnson's magic 60 minutes. Are you still in the game? Oh my goodness, Fiji are. The crowd all behind Fiji now. South Africa just need to settle this. They need to pick off 3 points. They need to win the restart. They need to get back into Fijian territory with a big kick. And then they need to pressure the defence with a good tackle. Or pressure the line out before Rambeni rejoins the fray.
Percy Montgomery with the chance to regain the lead again, and for South Africa, makes no mistake, 23-20. Slight relief for the Springboks as Fiji get back to 15 men with the return of Seru Rambeni.
Consistency now from South Africa. Surely they've given their wake-up call. They've seen enough in the last 24 hours to realise that no team's going to go out limply in these quarterfinals. The Fijians have brought the game right back at them. They need ball control, they need directness. And their error count has to be virtually 0 for the last 15 minutes.
Advantage.
And there we go, knock on, gifts it straight to Fiji.
I think there might have been 2 there, which is why referee Alan Lewis has called them back.
13.
And we're going to have another change on the Fijian side.
Both fellas went for the
We'll
ball.
mention Ratuvo has been in trouble, so Lovam Balavo, young centre, comes onto the field.
Crouch. Touch. Pause. Engage.
Once again, it's called upon Koya Mayu Mbole to pick up the ball in the number 8 position. Mbai opens it up immediately to Rambeni. Now the kick through once again. Steyn carried the ball over. Oh, they're in big trouble again, South Africa. Scrum 5, Fiji.
Brilliant kick, because what they did of the scrum, Koyambale won the battle of the inches, went forward, the ball moved across, but they attacked hard enough, they ran hard enough to bring Montgomery on the left up into the line, concerned about De La Salle. Puts the kick in behind. That's wonderful play by Fiji. Steyn trying to get out of his own dead ball area. Passes to Berger and he can't do it. The tackles are immense.
Can Fiji regain the lead once more? Raiwaloni. What a powerful little pocket battleship this man is. Fiji regrouping once again. Charging onto the Springbok line.
I know they want to power over, but if they shifted this ball left.
Now right, yes, they're in, are they? No, it just held it short once more by an inch. Then the ball's been knocked on by Rambeni. South Africa escaped.
I'd like to have a look at that. How close did he get?
Desperately
and then he got
close.
shoved backwards. Referee's happy that he didn't get there. Good decision. Inches. And upon that, games are decided. And Rambeni just had a quick look up, didn't he? Saw Habana coming. Didn't quite have the ball under his control. There's the knock-on. Fourie and Habana. It's all hands to the pump at the moment. Even the centres and wingers are defending around the rocks and the mauls.
Ile Tambua just can't look.
So close. How do the South Africans react under this pressure? Big solid scrum, clear their lines and then try and work up the field. At the moment, it looks all Fiji.
Well, there's more of this fascinating World Cup coming your way later today. Next up, the last of the quarterfinals, as Scotland take on Argentina in Paris. Coverage begins at 7:45 here on ITV1. And get across our website, itv.com/rugby, for all the latest news and highlights from each and every game.
Pause, engage.
Defensive ball, Berger. This time it's his turn to pick it up and drive it on. So Dupree can get the ball away cleanly again to Montgomery. This time with plenty of time. Fiji will look to take it quickly though. Here come the Fijians once again. All in a desperate hurry, now regrouping themselves. They need to come this way. Drop goal, Mbai! Wide of the posts.
Long clearance kick from Montgomery, well taken, and they set off. Mbobo one-handed. The substitute, Lovon Babalu, had a go, works it back. Good decision by Mbai, right in front. Just drags it left. But the way the South Africans are playing, you're sure Fiji will get another chance.
So this amazing World Cup continues on its way, surprising us all over and over again. Just when this game looked dead and buried in favour of South Africa, suddenly Raiwalui and his men and De La Salle, well to the fore, have come right back into it, and he's showing his power once more. Juan over the 22, back row support there too. Raiwalui gets it away to Mbai. Rambeni, can he deliver the pass? Was it forwards?
Oh, what a tackle, what a tackle. It was forward, the referee ignored it, but I don't think he gets this down.
Paul Honnis on the far side, but in fact, we will come upstairs once more to Nigel Owens. Here we go, well.
That's Peterson, turns him, wraps him. Oh no! Doesn't get it down. What a tackle by the winger. Get down, get lower. Oh no, Rambeni had a mismatch on Botha. He went on his outside. It was a forward pass.
Rwanga, the man, the second row 5, looking to finish it off. Paul Honnis's feeling, I think, was that it was a no try immediately. But they have to go upstairs these days.
Yeah, I think.
There's the chance we were talking about, though.
Yes, yep,
again,
certainly.
De La Salle up the right-hand side, something out of nothing. Worked it back. They waited for a centre to find themselves up at a second row. No, he can't. Has to be a 22. Go on, get it down. Oh, what a tackle, JP Peterson.
Fantastic.
Yes.
Here comes the decision.
Yes. That's okay, I've got that. Touch and goal 22. Thank you.
No try. Will Fiji get another one though?
I just don't understand what's happened to the South African defence. They have just gone walkabout, AWOL, not interested, backing off, allowing the Fijians to come at them.
No one more so than this man, Seru Rambeni, straightening up the attack. Couldn't quite get the ball in hand though. Couple of knock-ons there, so the referee will have to bring them back again.
The step off his right foot for a big man. Here we go. Where are you going? Not that way. Straight through Van Heerden. Gets the offload. Lovon Babalu trying to grapple it, trying to catch it again, and then tackled by Berger without the ball. Fair call.
Crouch. Touch. Pause. Engage.
Berger once again picks up at the base of the scrum.
Watch it.
Now the chance for the clearance kick, an attacking kick into the far corner. Good field position for South Africa.
That's a great kick. That's an absolutely great kick with the South Africans on the ropes, up against it. Fiji running it from everywhere. They've got to put him in a situation whereby it's almost suicidal to run from. He picked his spot, he went back up the short side, in behind De La Salle, gets the nice bounce.
South Africa this time. Too many men in the line-outs. Koto continues. Crooked throw again. There have been too many of them, haven't there?
The real Achilles heel. Because in the scrums, whilst it's been going backwards, Koyunbayambula has been so good. He's rescued it. But the line-out, not straight, has absolutely crucified them in terms of possession. And now South Africa, where will they go? Will they send Fourie or Steyn up the middle on a short side? Try and get some quick ball, release Dupree. They won't do anything fancy, that's for certain. It will be power-packed, it will be direct.
Berger at number 8, wearing 6, controls it, picks up, feeds it to Smith. Now this is a power situation that South Africa do so well at. That's the Fijian try line in the background. Tries about it.
Well worked, well worked. They went for the pushover. Fiji came straight back at them. Berger and Smith did very well at the back. They regrouped, they set it up. The Fijians tried to drop it. They splintered, they saw the space. There it is, ball under control, marching ominously forwards. The door opens and Smith says, time to shut it on the Fijians.
Very much one of the unsung heroes of this Springbok side, Juan Smith. Again, getting the try that could be so important.
Plays a similar position to Richard Hill. Just goes about his business quietly. Does so well, was such a good player, had a dip in form, but he's come back, showing great form this World Cup, and that should settle it.
With the successful conversion, 7 more points. Are you breathing a little bit more freely now, François?
Not really. There's still 10 minutes left, and the Fijians have come to play. They've been outstanding in the second half. They scored 2 tries with only 14 men on the field, and they've caught South Africa napping. It's been an amazing second half. Like I said, the game is not over. South Africa needs to control this restart, get back into the Fijians' half, and shut them out, because they can score a try from anywhere on the field.
10 points clear then, thanks to the second try by number 7, Juan Smith. And surely, Fiji can come back once again. There is time.
It's okay.
It's Fourie again, breaking clear this time. Now then, surely, where's the support? Can finish it off completely now.
Good clean-up by Fourie, wasn't it? The ball was loose from the restart, took it upon himself.
Penalised in the end though, South Africa diving in over the top.
And Fourie did well, he kept hold of the ball, and then I think it was Vickers van Heerden, or it might have been du Plessis, comes in and just threw the ball straight out the back of the ruck, and again made it a 50-50 nonsense ball. And from that, they're turned over, and the territory that Fiji need to launch another attack is gifted to them.
So again, an important set piece. Bill Gadolo is the replacement hooker on the Fijian side, vastly experienced man. Let's hope his throwing is a little bit more accurate than Sunia Koto's, as far as Fiji are concerned.
Naivo limping back, what a game he's had in the back row. He will not want to leave the field.
Brother of Api, who played for Fiji in previous World Cups. So again, the Fijians have got the possession at the front of the line out there. Not the best for which to attack from, but it maintains the possession, which is the important thing. Bai, offloading in the centre again. They're probing it well, and Bai's come into the position once more now, gets it wide, and Delasau up to the 22. And Bai again for the 3rd time in the move. Rambeni loses the ball this time. So here's the chance again for Peterson. Referee Lewis playing an advantage to South Africa. And the chance to boot it way downfield for South Africa.
A great clearance kick from Butch Jones. Unfortunately, Rambeni, he saw the gap, it shut on him quickly. He knocks it on. He's finishing the game like he started it, but he's been magnificent. in terms of taking the battle to the South Africans. Berger cleans up well. Peterson sets it up. Butch James does the rest. And they send them back and they say, Fidji, if you want to win it, you're going to have to do it the hard way.
Luaravu, the latest man to come onto the field for Fiji in place of Leawere in the second row. Yadolo into the line out for Fiji. Inside their own territory still. South Africa as ever competing. Once more, Maevo has done pretty well for Fiji at that set piece. But South Africa are battling away and they've got the turnover. Van Heerden. Matfield in there too. Steenkamp also. Dupreer would be happy for his forwards to take this on a little further. Now, put the backs to Butch James. Been touched in flight, I think.
Oh, does that mean it's a 5-metre scrum? It does. Oh, what a stroke of luck, because it was a poor decision from Butch James. Under pressure, going backwards, snap drop goal from 50. Bad decision. They should be trying to keep hold of the ball, make the Fijians tackle them. And from nowhere, with a fingertip.
What number?
With a fingertip from the Fijian charger, it gifts South Africa field possession.
South Africa 4, you're being repaired.
Bakkies Botha about to leave the field again.
Sorry?
Yes, Butch James, who will be joining Bath very shortly in the Guinness Premiership as Bakkies Botha leaves the field.
Butch James will be delighted at this stage that he's not available for selection next week. Make it to the semis and you're guaranteed another 2 weeks, of course, with the third, fourth place playoff. No matter what, as an England fan, we've got 2 more games in this World Cup. Let's hope they're Saturday games and not a Saturday followed by a Friday. The game that no one wants. The third, fourth place playoff.
Okay, 74-58.
We have 5 minutes and a couple of seconds, the referee tells us, of time left to play at the end of this game. South Africa leading by 30 points to 20.
And Fiji camped on their own line. They're looking tired. South Africa must sniff. Do they not do exactly what they did 5 minutes ago? If it's worked once, do it again. Keep doing it until they work out how to stop it.
Right, okay, Fiji, medical attention away, please.
Rawanga is okay again, so is able to take his place in the second row for this set scrum. Big scrum for South Africa, powering their way forward. Berger controlling it, picking up, losing it though, in the act of scoring.
And Dean Richards will be screaming. He's lost his concentration, he's been panicky, he's jumped and edgy. There's some afters going on. But Berger had the try, the front row will be furious, the control was needed, the patience, let it cross the line. He's picked it up 2 yards out, white line fever, try, no try. Great tackle by Luaravu.
Some very tired Fijian players out there, needing more attention.
Yeah, they're under pressure, aren't they, Fiji? They're just trying to buy time, trying to suck the energy in. But here's Berger. Just keep walking, son. They can't come in. They can't do anything. A millimetre before the line, maybe think about it. But until then, not a yard and a half out. When your forwards are walking forwards in an inevitable fashion towards the Fijian try line. What a game, though, by Fiji, hasn't it been brilliant? They've added to... You thought they were under pressure in the first half, that the power of the South Africans would tell, but 2 tries, not from nothing. Doesn't do Fiji justice. They worked them, they manufactured them well, they found space, they ran with vigour and pace. The precision of their passing was high and they took their tries extremely well. What a contest again in a World Cup quarter-final.
Fijian ball then at this set scrum as the clock starts again. They'll have to go in once more.
Just come back. South Africa, just be careful not to go early. Wait for me. And get it in the middle. I know.
South Africa very much in the driving seat with the opportunity to finish this off once and for all. As the pressure comes in again on the scrum, there's a knock-on in there, I think.
Out we go.
And look at this. This is what's happened today. The South Africans have lost their control of this game. They've been rattled. They haven't reacted well. The ball popped out of the back of that scrum. Preez claiming he scored the try, but Lewis was right on the case.
Just move away.
He's knocked it on right in front of the referee. No complaints.
Now,
Referee Lewis, the last thing he wants is something like this at the end of the day.
Number 9. Time off, Nigel. Don't spoil a great game. Don't spoil a great game. That's all I'll say. Let's have another scrum. The ball was knocked forward.
Excellent words from Alan Lewis. It's been a great occasion again.
The underdog has risen to the occasion like it has done all tournament. The crowd have enjoyed it. They've got in behind Fiji.
Rambeni held up right on his own line. South Africa powering through. No, it's with Rawaluni.
Don't touch him. Don't touch him.
Referee Alan Lewis had to call a halt there, surely.
Yeah. South Africans diving in. I'm not sure you can be offside in the dead ball area, so they say if the ball's available, I'll dot it down.
Ball was put down by 9.
He's quite right, Matfield, having a go. You can't be offside in there.
Crouch.
Right, Berger. Keep your cool.
Touch. Pause, engage.
The chance for South Africa to seal a victory, to take them through to the semi-finals. Berger driven back in the tackle. And it's flaring up a bit in there.
An itchy trigger finger again from Berger. Picks up early. What a shame that the game's ended this way. Love to have seen open play, Fiji attacking the South Africa line, but South Africa just shutting this game down. They realise they've been rocked by the Fijians today. They haven't shown the composure or the control that you feel is needed to win a tournament. Total opposite styles to the game when they played against England, when they were magnificent.
The decision, after consultation with Steve Walsh, is that Alan Lewis has called for a penalty, and not surprisingly, South Africa say, we'll take the scrum, thank you very much.
Back over to you, Schalk. Third time lucky. The Fijians slipped their binding, came off too early.
Berger, does he have the control? Fiji have turned it around though, and they've gone up in the front row as well. They'll have to go down again. Again though, it'll be a South African ball.
What it has done is it's killed the game, hasn't it? It's killed the game. The South Africans, they don't care about aesthetics at this stage of it. Let's get on the plane, let's get on the train, let's find ourselves in Paris. Let's throw the video away. Let's look forward to Scotland or Argentina.
The perfect position to defend a lead, 5 metres from the opposition line. Berger inching it forward slowly but surely. Picks up and drives himself, and again the tackle is good from Fiji. Once again, the pick up and go from the South Africans. Here it comes once again for Fourie du Preez, the scrum half, to reorganise things. Just short of the line, driving in towards the post, it should be good enough for the score. Du Preez looking to rimp it back. Here it comes surely for South Africa. Try awarded, and that's it at the end of the day. That's the try from Butch James, which finishes things off. South Africa through to the semi-finals.
Finally the white wall crumbles. Butch James saw his opportunity. Too much enthusiasm. The big prop, Graham Deuce, the try scorer against Wales. He's scrummaged his socks off today. He's run everywhere, but just couldn't quite summon up the energy to stop Butch James on his try-scoring run. Percy will have a kick at goal, but the South Africans are stood next to him. They know the game's over. Relieved faces. Fiji take a bow.
Last piece of action then of the third quarter final will come from the boot of Percy Montgomery. 7 more points for South Africa. They've won at the end of the day in comfortable fashion, but well, that score hides a multitude of things, doesn't it?
So many errors all games, lack of composure. It just shows you that come the knockout stages, group form, recent form goes out of the window. Find a way to win ugly, doggedly, determined, competitive spirit, take your points when you get a chance. The Fijians did all that today. They took their chances when it came, but the South African powerhouse shut them down. They've been magnificent. They will enjoy their lap of honour. The whole crowd have stayed to salute them. 2 winners today. One marches on to a semi-final. The other, Fiji, wonderful ambassadors for the game of rugby.
3 victories, their best ever in this competition. They've come a whole long way, haven't they?
Absolutely brilliant. They've had their prayer. Top men. They've had a great time. They're staying in town. They'll enjoy themselves this evening. They'll be supported wherever they go. And just like the Tongans and the Samoans, the South Sea Islanders will enjoy a magnificent lap of honour.
Final score then, South Africa 37, Fiji 20.
Thanks to Will Greenwood and to Bob Simmons. We say Samoa te. Goodbye in Fijian to Fiji. Never beyond this stage in the Rugby World Cup. They have set the tournament alight. They knocked Wales out. They gave the Springboks a real scare as well. And we have loved their contribution, but it is the Boks who will be in Paris for the semi-final.